A pretty incredible chapter this week as we're hitting some big numbers, 9-0. We're only 10 away from triple digits for Purple Hyacinth. I found out recently actually that we're not even at the mid-season finale yet, so maybe 100 is where we're aiming for halfway into season 2. So again, chapter 90, titled Torturous Trap, was released yesterday, April 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you haven't checked out that chapter yet, please do so before continuing this video. Now, let's begin. So as we predicted, Lauren's letter for sure was to meet at midnight from S, obviously Sandman. So remember that Lauren's bridge has its significance for us, especially since that's where all the deal happened in chapter 10, and that's usually where we see the bridge shots. Even though there's 3 other bridges in Art Hollis, I believe Lauren's bridge is the one that's always featured in our story. And this is cool since Lauren and Kieran in chapter 10 were on the bridge itself, and now 80 some chapters later we have them, not Lauren and Kieran, but Lauren and Sandman meeting under the bridge, especially with the relevance that we get from our poor Sandman's reveal and about his daughter. It's quite sad. I'm surprised that Lauren actually gave the only copy that she had. Maybe they don't, I feel like they have like some kind of like photocopying techniques, right? There's no reason not to have it, but I guess the thing with the picture is that she already knew what the picture meant for her. It was her parents' car, right? That was the really important thing, and getting this extra information from Sandman potentially has more value than keeping this piece of evidence, I guess. And we get the name. Was it Elvira Lloyd? It's kind of hot. It's way better sounding than Cigar Chick, which I've been calling her Cigar Chick since the Camellia. So, actually not since the Camellia. Way back in, what was it, chapter 40 was when she was introduced? With all the, when they were shipping the Nitro for the first time that we've seen in the story. Interesting, she's in her 40s, she's looking good for 45, like real good. And I think the most important part of that, other than her name, is that she was a manager, right? Several jobs as a manager. So, could she have been a manager at other Phantom Scythe strongholds like Camellia or potentially Golden Clover or other big centered areas that have a lot of Phantom Scythe traffic that the regular folks don't know? Is manager the perfect role for people to take in power because they're the ones in charge of the ins and outs of that location? So it becomes a seal, kind of like a vacuum for stuff to happen and stuff to disappear and not have anyone really question it. Kind of interesting. Does that mean that the other managers that we've seen, I don't think we've seen the Camellia manager, but what's her name? Karen Smith from the Golden Clover. Is this what it's meaning? Is she also part of the Phantom Scythe? I mean, we had our suspicions, but we haven't really done much about it. And it seems like Lauren is kind of hinting at, your Phantom Scythe files. It seems like it's hinting at, does she want another repetition of the pamphlets for Snapdragon? That's what this is going to be, except instead of outing the royalty, we're outing the Phantom Scythe. I wonder if it'll actually be, as we've seen this chapter, Sandman's not going to live to the end of the month. Right? There's no way. I didn't expect him, after saying that line, to actually get shot within the same chapter, or his attempt to get shot. And it's sad. I kind of knew that it was something family related, right? That Sandman was in the Phantom Scythe for, and it's a shame. So Clara Grayson is his daughter. Little known thing is they retconned a little bit back in chapter 5 when we got the name of Sandman. I think it was Rosa Sandman. So they changed the first name to Clara, which is such a small retcon, it doesn't really matter. It's just a name change. But the significance this has is crazy, right? Every time that Sandman has been introduced into the story, it's always warping our reality of the events that happen and the consequences of Loon, right? Loon has significant consequences, right? The last time that Sandman was supposed to get this picture initially from Anslow in the Golden Clover, but Loon interjected and interrogated him. So this got delayed for so long, and because of the Purple Hyacinth's actions at the beginning of this story, in episode 1, is the reason why Sandman decided to take action, right? It's a well-knit, well-woven story that's coming together beautifully. And I guess the only thing that's really missing is what made the leader want to do a double kill. That's not part of the Purple Hyacinth's MO. And happened at the very beginning of the story after the Purple Hyacinth had been gone for a while. So what was the leader's reasoning behind that? Did he want Sandman to make moves like this to counter the Seven's plans? Is this all part of the leader's like overarching plans? We have no idea, but pretty exciting. I'm sure once we eventually figure out what the leader was planning to do, this will get recontextualized again in that point. And it's kind of sad, especially with what Sandman said. He said it was better if she believed that I was dead like everyone else. Saying that, I'm sure Raphael also felt this, right? He probably felt that it was better that he was dead to his family so they can move on. But this kind of like selfish drive for whatever their goal is, right? They want to keep the evil and the pain that the Phantom Scythe causes on people and families to be isolated to the small percentage that get affected, right? Raphael, Sandman, they don't want it to spread to the rest of their family. So I can understand him. It makes sense. And I really liked the visual imagery of the skipping stone, especially when it's sinking. We have the line of Clara was the only thing that I had left. And then a couple panels after the flashback and everything, we see the smoke and the ash from the smoke saying, if you refuse to obey, but that ash it's falling, but it kind of looks like it's floating in the air. Like they both really fit well with the lines that were displayed around them. And I wonder why Kirian's flowers were brought up here, of all places. That's very interesting to me. Like, we know that Lauren doesn't believe it, right? But why was it brought up in this chapter? I can't really pinpoint that. But we do get more insight about the Annandale bombing and what Robin Delaney's job was. Robin Delaney's job was to kidnap Lauren to go against the Sinclairs, right? And because Robin Delaney failed to do that, I think they had to kill the Sinclair's parents. The other was collateral damage. So the line is, the Apostle wanted the kid to be brought to him, the other was collateral damage. Dylan was the collateral damage because he was the one that ended up getting picked up. Lauren should have been the one that got picked up, but she didn't. So the Apostle had to make the move and kill the Sinclair's parents. That's how I read it, since that's when we got cut off with the shot, but I wonder. We already have this feeling that Dylan is already dead, right? Lauren has moved past it, so now we're getting more reinforcement of that idea that Dylan is dead. However, I don't want this just to be just a red herring and divert us and then Dylan shows up again. I don't know what I would do if he showed up again. I don't know how to feel, because both me and Lauren have moved on and accepted Dylan's death, so I don't know. And then we end with another letter. So we got 3 letters in the past 2 chapters. We got 1 letter from Darcy to Bella, we had a letter from Sandman to Lauren, and now we have a letter, probably Apostle, who's the Apostle that always does 4 or something? 3, the assassination one. He's getting another one for Kirian. Probably it's to kill Sandman, right? Sandman says that the person's fate is already sealed when they're assigned their death sentence, so someone else will execute this, and who better to execute someone talking like this than the best in the business, the Purple Hyacinth. But yeah, that is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. This was a more unscripted version that I had. I just recorded this before I moved back. I was traveling, so thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.